Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to install laundry cabinets, or matter of fact you can install any cabinets with this method, but I installed them in my laundry room. We currently have this racks and I thought it's time for us to upgrade. So once I did this whole project, that's what it looks like, the final product, and I'll show you how I installed them. This cabinets I bought from Home Depot, so I'll put the link as well if you are interested. So let's start. Alright, so things you need before you start is all of them are here. Sorry if I forgot one, or I think I forgot screws that you need for the cabinets, which I will cover in later in the video. But patch and paint if you need to fill the holes, and things like that. So if you could grab these things before you start would be nice, so you don't have to run around. And yeah. Alright, so I haven't covered how to remove the racks, but it's pretty simple. Use your drill to remove all the racks, then use the patch and paint to fill the holes. And once they are dried, I waited I did this next day, so they are dried enough, and then I use the sandpaper to sand the extra on the wall so I can paint over before I start the project. You don't have to do all of them. If you think the one that goes behind the cabinets, you can just leave them as is. You don't have to paint them, but you should cover whatever that you could think will be seen after you install the cabinets. Alright, so once you've done sanding it, you apply the paint, and that should be your first step to start with the project. The next step is to draw the line where your cabinet will end, and I use this 1x2. I bought it from Home Depot. I cut it to the length so I can use it to hold the cabinets when I put them on the wall. And also I used it to draw the line, as you see. Next step is to find the stud on that line so you can attach that 1x2 to the wall. Alright, so now we have to pre-drill the holes on the 1x2 board, and I have marked the same stud that I found on the wall on this 1x2 board. So I'm gonna pre-drill it and then attach this to the wall. The only purpose for this board to hold the cabinets when we put them on. And once we are done with it, we're gonna remove this. Alright, so I have put the leveler on the top to make sure this is aligned, and looks like it's aligned, and I have pre-drilled the holes as we did in the step before, and I'm going to use 2.5-inch screws to install this board. It's very straightforward, so I'm gonna fast forward all this. Alright, so I had to install 4 screws, and I'm not gonna show you every single screws, but you get the idea. Install the board onto the wall underneath the line you draw. Alright, so the next step is to draw the lines vertically from the board. So I have marked the studs above the board wherever the stud is detected. I am drawing 3 lines, so it finds wherever the stud starts and ends, and the middle. I want to get all those measurements in order to get the best possible line vertically. Alright, so the most important part of this whole project is to find the stud for the cabinets. For cabinets to install. And for that, what I did is, as you see, I drew first all the lines, 3 lines, and then I used a small drill bit on top and bottom and in the middle, and connected this vertical line through that. For drill, the purpose of the drill bit is to make sure that you hit the stud and not the drywall itself. It confirms that whatever we marked has a stud behind it, and then take the measurements from all the way to the left and write down on the papers. Now we're going to install 4 screws, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So make sure you have 2 measurements for the top and 2 measurements on the bottom. And we're going to transfer these measurements on the back of the cabinets. Alright, so you guessed it right. Now we're going to put those measurements right behind the cabinets. As you see, I marked both measurements from my left corner from the front. In the back, it would be from the right corner. So take your time, make sure they are dead on, and so you don't have to go back and pre-drill, or you don't have to repeat the step again if you cannot find the stud, or if you miss the stud when you are installing the cabinets. One more thing, to make sure you remove all your cabinets door before you start, because they're very heavy when you're lifting them on the board. And that's how you remove it. You just have to push the clip and you take it out. So next step is to pre-drill the holes and pre-drill the cabinets. So this is the screw you have to use, everyone using the same screws, so you can get it from Home Depot. If I find Amazon link, I'll put them in the description as well. And make sure you use the drill bit size smaller than that. Don't use bigger than the screw itself, or it won't work. Make sure the drill bit size is smaller than your screw, and we're just going to pre-drill it. Just one more tip is, whenever you're drilling anything or pre-drilling anything, make sure you hold the drill straight as possible, so it's not on the angle. And yeah, just a small tip. Alright, and one more thing is, go slow when you're pre-drilling anything. Don't use the force or speed. Just let the drill do the work, and just go slow. Yep, that's what I did for my project. Alright, so I have put my cabinets above these 2 hands. It's called little hands, and also they are supported by the 1x2 board that we installed. This gave us enough time to install the screws, and we don't have to hold it while they are being installed. Make sure, even though I measure everything from far left, you see the gap on the left hand side. It could be uneven walls. So I had to double check all my drills, the pre-drill holes, with this drill bit to make sure I'm still hitting the stud in the back, because we found this error on the left hand side on the wall, which I wasn't prepared for. Make sure you can leave 1 inch of space and then do the whole cabinet to avoid this issue, and then go ahead with the installation. So luckily I didn't have to do anything, but just keep in mind when you do that, I would say just leave 1 inch space from the left corner when you install your cabinets. Alright, so once you install all your 4 screws, your first cabinet is installed, you can move to the second one, and the measurement will be taken going forward is from the end of your first cabinet. So again, repeat the same steps. Mark all the studs, then check the stud with the pre-drill bit to make sure you are still hitting the stud, and write down all the measurements, same as before, and then transfer that to your cabinets. All right, so one more tip is, once you install your first cabinet, or while you're installing your first cabinet, you always wanted to check their level from XYZ plane. So let's say in this case I'm checking vertical and then horizontal, and as you see, they're pretty much level, just slightly off, and for that I don't need to use a wood shim like this, but you may have to just double make sure while you are at that step. All right, so I have installed my second cabinet, and it's same as before. When you install your screws, make sure they are very, they're flush with each other, and when you screw them, make sure you hold it that way so they don't move around and they're very close to each other and flushed. As I said, like if they're uneven or the wall in the back is uneven, you have to use the wood shims that I mentioned earlier. In my case, I was lucky that I didn't have to install any of the wood shims, but I just wanted to point out, not everyone's wall is same. The drywall is different, so just keep in mind. Alright, so the next step is to install your cabinet doors, and it's just pushing the pins in. Alright, so finally we install all the cabinet doors. One issue I found is the cabinet doors were uneven, and you can fix it by adjusting that screw inside, at least for these cabinets, and your cabinets might have a different type of hinges. Alright, so hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe for future video, and thank you so much for watching.